G'day from Australia, Jacob here, Crypto Critics. Alright, touch on some news. Korea, Warren Buffett, who cares? Telegram, and our friends at the ATO. Let's cover some of these points. Korea, has basically the news coming out of Korea at the moment is the government's going to start regulating the crypto space pretty heavily. Being a major consumer of cryptos, it will be a significant hit to the market, and it's probably been shown through the various drops in prices plus the total drop in the market cap. Alright, now Bitcoin, the rumours I'm hearing is, and I've asked a few questions, most of my friends aren't looking at getting back in it until about 8.5, but I guess these things are moving beasts. But on its current trajectory, 8.5 for Bitcoin, and then maybe start getting back into all the coins. Except for there are a few coins in my book that I've noticed are doing well. Usually the ones that you liquidate a few of just to make sure you don't lose money. 0x, you bastard. I've still got a position, but I've sold some, and it looks like it seems to be withholding the storm, but I'm hoping, unless you're a 0x holder, I'm hoping it's going to drop a little and then I'm going to buy back in. It's been a good mover for me, but I still have a position in that. Let's go to Buffett. So we're on one bad news story about Korea. Let's move on to the guy who, like arseholes, everyone's got an opinion, la 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 la. He's just come out and said it looks like Bitcoin, well, the cryptocurrency space isn't going to end well, was pretty well his quote. And that's what happens to dinosaurs, I guess. They become extinct and the new beasts take over. So we'll see. I guess he might not be around to know if that argument was correct or not. But look, he's a smart bloke, and I'll say he obviously doesn't make money without knowing what he's talking about. I think he works on a good rule that he invests in things he knows about, and I don't think that's a bad rule in cryptocurrency. So anything you invest in crypto, try to get to know what you're holding, because that's your asset. It might not be an asset according to the company that issued you the token, but to you that's the only thing you've got that represents some money back. Okay, so do your research, get to know what you're investing in, and let the dinosaurs like bloody Warren just fade off into the distance. And who knows, as I said, he won't be around long enough to probably work out that if he was right or wrong. Now, Telegram, what a beast, wants to do a $500 million ICO, so this is going to shame everything before it. So you think of Tezos or Tezzies and a few other big ones. $500 million is a fair ask, and I'm interested, without going through the white paper just yet, to know what they're going to want to spend that money on, considering that they've got a platform already that's in use. So, and ironically, that platform's heavily used for the crypto space. So this is going to be for them probably a logical next step. But I'm interested to know what the hell you can spend $500 million on and not lose. I think they're going to have to go to some form of subscription model, especially with some of these groups hitting 40 odd thousand users plus. What's the bet that it's going to cost someone something, and that's going to how they're going to use their coins. Interesting. I'm going to go through the 130-page alleged white paper. It's going to need a lot of Red Bull. And a few fluoro texts, I think. So we'll have a look. I'll come back. It'll be a weekend thing. This weekend I'll have a look at it, and if I don't fall asleep, I'll do a video. Our friends at the ATO, the banks, and a lovely federal government in Australia have rumoured to be starting up a panel to look at how they're going to keep an eye on cryptocurrencies flowing in and out of the country, and how they probably tax it, and how the banks can stop it. It just feels like a collusion here, but that wasn't a collusion to be expected. At $50 billion market cap, probably at the beginning of last year, it's not really hurting any fiat systems. Hitting on 1 trillion as it was on its way before the dip, I think that starts to hurt some fiat systems. There might be some gaps in some reports going on when they go, how do you value a dollar if it's all floating in cyberspace? And I guess that might be, and I hear different countries thinking about pegging their currency to the chain somewhere, so that might be a way of keeping an eye on that space. I guess you have to do it. If you're a government, and of course governments don't like things they can't govern, this is one of those things. I don't think these two people, I don't think blockchain and the government are going to end up being friends. I think it's going to be, look, as most things, if you go back to the fundamentals of what Bitcoin and all that was done, it was to take power away from the middleman, to decentralize transactions and agreements. Governments love to have controls of all these aspects because then they can obviously make money and say yes and no, regulate. Again, against the whole principle of what most of the people, true die hard in the community, would be going, look, the heavier you regulate, the heavier we're going to create something that's decentralized. We'll create a decentralized exchange. We'll, whatever we can, wherever we can, we're taking the power out of your hands. I like that. Personally, I'm not an anarchist, but I think, I can see both sides of the coin. I can see this potentially, if not regulated, liberalising the capital of the world. You now got taxi drivers and whatnot becoming millionaires and no longer rocking up to work, so it can't happen forever. So they need a workforce, they need people to pay taxes, and unfortunately they want us to retire at 70. It's all part of a big plan. And you might also say I'm wearing my tinfoil hat, but look, I know until I got into crypto, I wasn't getting too far ahead in life. I wasn't falling behind, but now me and my family actually thinking about having dreams, going off and doing holidays and buying our houses and stuff. Unfortunately, I think the government had plans of us extending that over a 30-year term. I can understand why the banks are balking because, they're charging us 2% interest for our hard-earned money and then lending off to the next guy for 15%. So we are now taking that away. We're now managing our own funds. And in Australia, there has been some subtle pushbacks, although not legal and not enforceable. It's just the tone is starting to shift, especially as I said with the media lately as an international thing. It just feels like they don't want cryptos to get too out of hand before they can basically hold it in their hands. So everyone in Australia, I'd be watching that space. I'll be hoping that we got some people out there, like maybe the Nuggets of the world or whatever, that can add a bit of influence in that space, so it's not one-sided. It'd be nice to see cryptos looked as volatility and maybe given some tax consideration around that. It's not as stable as an income, and that's what they want to probably do, is tax it as an income, not capital gains. So who knows? It'd be an interesting thing to watch. All I say for everyone in Australia, and you've gone through legitimate channels and you've been verified through exchanges, keep records. It's as simple as that. Look, eventually in most countries someone's going to come up with some smart software and they're going to be able to track every bit and look at cranny, unless you've really gone and made a serious effort to be below the radar, and that'll probably ring alarm bells anyway. So keep records, keep your nose clean wherever you can, get financial advice. I'm trying to do the same at the moment. Talk to a tax guy, talk to not the tax office but a really good tax guy. Make sure they know shit about crypto. Even though the tax office probably doesn't, if you ring the tax office and ask the same guy two or three guys the same question, you probably get different answers. So it's not a very clear space. Treat it like that way. Make sure you try and do the right thing. If it means paying some tax, unfortunately pay some tax. Otherwise, I don't know, I hear New Zealand's not bad. I hear, again, you're probably going to have to look at far-fetched ideas, but if you've like some of the people that made like Ian Bellino, whatever his name is, he's made $5 million, I'm sure you're going to be looking at alternatives, and he'll be within the legal limits, but it'll be some crafty stuff. It'll be like, hey, if Apple and Google can do it, why can't I? Alright everyone, stay safe. It looks like a bad bear market for a little while. I've converted out. I've pushed most of my money into Tether. I'm just going to sit back, play some ICOs. I find ICOs, and I'll quick one. ICOs are a nice thing to lock up capital. One chain, whilst I've put significant. Now it's my biggest investment, but not my, nothing major, nothing more than 5%. I'm happy that's kind of locked up at the moment because it's a bit insulated from what's going on. So if you've got some ICO coins that are insulated, still haven't been released on the market, then it's not a bad place to be. And I always find having just a few good ICOs, if you've done the hard work and they're not released, they just tend to hold better when everything picks up. So hooroo from Australia, take it easy. Hopefully there's not too much blood on your charts, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Or I'll speak to you when I find out more about the Telegram. See ya.